Phillies finished the road trip on a high note, riding the production of key hits from all parts of their lineup. They took the mound in Milwaukee and pitched their way to a 4-game sweep against the National League's best. Now they return home to take on the best of the East, while looking to reclaim a home field advantage that has gone missing for some time. The good old days. Yep, you never know what you're going to see when you come to Citizens Bank Park as the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. It's game 1 of a 3-game series. And the Phillies yesterday, late in the day, announced some new moves. Not some breakdancing, but some moves to the roster. Grady Sizemore had his contract selected from Lehigh Valley. He's actually starting in center field and leading things off. David Buchanan moves back to Lehigh Valley. That opens up the spot. And then Cliff Lee placed on the 60-day DL. He's still eligible to come off on the 18th of July. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. We'll talk about that moves as the game moves on, because Sizemore is leading things off for the Phillies and playing center field. But let's first talk about these last 4 games, and why not talk about this whole road trip? It was kind of a Jekyll and Hyde road trip for the Phillies. Well,
it was a road trip, 10 days. You thought, okay, these guys are going on. They're going to have to play well. They're playing in Miami, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. And then they get off to a bad start in Miami. And then all of a sudden they can come back and win that game in Miami. Go into Pittsburgh, and they struggle really bad. Then all of a sudden they decide to have a team meeting / hitters meeting. And it kind of woke them up. And Ruben Amaro came up and said some words that, things have to change. Now all of a sudden these guys go out. They start swinging the bat well.
They start swinging the bat well, and they start swinging the bat well with runners in scoring position. It didn't start yesterday in the 8th inning, but it basically finished yesterday in the 8th inning.
Well, what it is it is contagious. And Cameron got the big double to right field to start off. Jimmy got a hang slider. Ryan Howard hits a ground rule double to left field. Cody Ashley comes up, 3-1 fastball, bases loaded, drives it for a ground rule double to right field. And, of course, Dominic Brown comes up and falls with the single up the middle.
So Dominic Brown followed with the single up the middle. The scoring topped off 1 inning later with Ryan Howard blasting one 425 feet for a 2-run home run. So now the Phillies hope to take that momentum into this weekend series against the first-place Washington Nationals.
Well, it's a huge weekend. I mean, you just go into Milwaukee and you beat up on the number 1 team in the National League Baseball for 4-game sweep, which is very hard to do. Now you're coming in and you're facing 3 very good pitchers this series versus Washington. As long as they go out and they relax and try to do the same thing they did in Milwaukee. Relax, don't try to do too much. Just go out and get these guys deep into the count. Be aggressive certain times, but look for your pitch. They should be fine.
Well, and also they're going to rely on the starting pitching to go deep into the ball game, like David Buchanan did yesterday for the Phils and Roberto Hernandez did the night before. So it is game 1 of this 3-game series between the Phils and the Washington Nationals, the final weekend of games before the All-Star break. When we return, we'll have the lineups and first pitch before game 1. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Independence Blue Cross, the most preferred health plan in the region. Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. We get set for game one of this three-game series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals, who sit atop the NL East. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Nationals. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at center field, Denard Span. Anthony Rendon, the second baseman, bats second. Jason Worth hits third, followed by Adam LaRoche and Ryan Zimmerman. Bryce Harper's in left field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Wilson Ramos, Danny Espinosa, and Jordan Zimmerman. And they'll face Phillies right-hander A.J. Burnett. Burnett has had kind of an up-and-down year. He's 5-8. His ERA of 3.92. He does have 102 strikeouts, and he's been durable despite that hernia injury. He's got 124 innings right now.
He has, and the key for him is just to go out and throw strikes. He's been doing extremely well. He's capable of striking out the side at any time. He just has to go out there and rely on his stuff and not try to do too much. And as you're going to see the scouting report, 90 to 95 mile an hour fastball, four-seam sinker fastball. I like that he has a big looping curveball, and it's the curveball down and in to get left-handers to swing over top. And you can see the career versus Washington, 9-4 with a 3.43 ERA.
Yeah, he got roughed up by the Nationals his last time out. It was on the 4th of June. And he's got a new center fielder behind him. Grady Sizemore has been called up from AAA, and Grady is part of our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Well, first with the offense, I'd like to see the carry the great approach at home plate tonight and throughout the remainder of the season. And for Grady Sizemore to relax and just let it happen. Sometimes you go to a new team, you might try to do too hard or try to impress the fans or the organization. Do what you do best. You're a very good ball player.
Yeah, he had 10 great games to start his career with the Red Sox, and then his numbers started to slip. And he's going to get a chance to lead things off for the Phillies. I would think that all of this, everything that's going on in his mind right now, could be somewhat overwhelming.
It is, but you're very thankful that you have another team that knows that you're capable of playing the game. And that's what you drive on, saying, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. Now it's my second chance in the same year. You're going to take advantage of it, and you feel comfortable.
Well, you just saw Ben Revere, and, of course, Ryan Sandberg talking about Revere today said that he hasn't lost his job. Revere was hitting over 300 over his last 3 weeks or so. We'll have a chance to play a little center, play a little left as well. Denard Span will lead things off for the Nationals, and the first pitch of the night is taken up high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Span overall hitting .267. He has hit in 8 consecutive games for Washington. And a line drive towards center field, and Sizemore tested right away. And Span is aboard with a leadoff single. So a leadoff base runner, you got to keep an eye on Span. He has stolen 14 bags so far this year. And that'll bring Anthony Rendon to the plate. Rendon, a .285 hitter, 13 homers, 52 runs batted in. He's had a solid year. Takes on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Rendon was part of the last 5, the final vote by Major League Baseball. He did not win. In fact, the Nationals, despite being in first place, only have 1 All-Star representative, and that's the guy pitching tonight. Quick toss over to first, and Span is back.
Well, there's been a lot of interesting conversation going around with the who should be going as a backup infielder or a utility player, but he definitely Anthony's he deserved to go, that's for sure.
That ball's hit to short. That should be 2. There's 1 and there's 2. Nice way to erase Denard Span. 6-4-3 double play. Jason Worth is coming up. What does Greg Murphy have about Jason Worth?
Oh, I'm about to tell you, Tom McCarthy. And Jason Worth has been a very productive player for this Washington Nationals team over the past couple of weeks. And you look at his numbers just from July, and they are staggering. It is the Lowe's Never Stop Improving player profile. How about this? Through 8 games in July, batting .400. He's got 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. You see the extra base hits, 9 runs scored, On base percentage close to 500, and a slugging percentage 1.000. So Jason Worth, one of the hottest players in baseball right now, and certainly playing well for the Washington Nationals.
Overall hitting .278. He takes a strike on the outside corner. And Murph showed his on-base percentage, which means that he is still taking a lot of pitches. That style has not changed since he left the Phillies.
No, because he has confidence in hitting with 1 strike or even with 2 strikes.
Curveball, it's 0-2.
Guys, you think about the combination of Rendon and Worth, because Rendon has been terrific all season long. You put those guys back to back, and that's why the Nationals have played so well, or a big part of the reason they played so well over the past couple of weeks.
They had 99 RBIs between the two and 115 runs between the two. That ball got away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Williams in his first year as the skipper of the Washington Nationals. He hasn't done a bad job at all. They're 49 and 41. It's just that he's involved in one of the weirdest divisions in baseball, the National League East. Out of play, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 49 and 41. They're 8 and 3 in their last 11. And they're tied, essentially tied with the Braves for the top spot in the National League East, although Atlanta played earlier today and won, or lost I should say, so that means the Nationals are a half game ahead of them. Change up low, 2-2. I always forget to look up at the scoreboard when Chicago's hosting a Friday game. You always forget that it's a day game, even though it's game 1 of a series.
Yeah, that got old real quick when I played for the Cubs. You had to look at the schedule because you never knew what time you were playing the following day.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball. Boy, did that ball sweep out of the strike zone. First strikeout for A.J. Burnett. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the first here in Philadelphia. It's the Nationals nothing and the Phillies coming up. In their half of the first, let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at center field, Grady Sizemore. Jimmy Rollins bats second. Chase Utley will hit third, followed by Ryan Howard and Marlon Byrd. Cody Ashley's at third base. He'll bat sixth. Dominic Brown hits seventh. Batting eighth and catching is Cameron Rupp. And hitting ninth is A.J. Burnett. And they'll face right-hander Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman, 18 starts, a 6-4 record, a 2.79 earned run average. You want to talk about a guy whose numbers are sort of askew and doesn't get a whole lot of run support? This guy doesn't get a whole lot of run support.
And I'll tell you what, he's a guy that's going to go out, he's going to pound the strike zone. He averages about 94 miles an hour with his fastball. Four-pitch pitcher, and you can see 4.80 Ks / baseball ratio. Fifth base, the best in the National League.
Grady Sizemore will lead it off. His first at bat in a Philly uniform. Sizemore hit .283 during his rehab stint. I shouldn't say rehab stint, during his stint at AAA. Chopper out towards shortstop. To his left is Espinosa. And there's one away as Sizemore nearly beat that one up the line. All right, Matty got his first at bat out of the way now.
Well, I thought it was good that he actually got the first ball hit to him, went to his left, cut it off. But you still have the jitters. You want to get that first hit so bad, you want to impress everybody. And he's been in this situation before. He's a tremendous player. He's going to be fine, and he's only 31 years old.
Well, and we'll talk about it as the season moves on, but he had some years with some incredible numbers with the Cleveland Indians. Here's Rollins, who takes inside. Rollins has 6 hits and 28 at-bats against Zimmerman. Outside, 2-0. Rollins was 3 for 12 in the series against the Milwaukee Brewers. 4 RBIs. A high chopper over to second. And Rendon throws him out, 2 outs. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is John Leary of Philadelphia. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then John will win $100. So 2 groundouts. That's something that we'll see a lot of with Jordan Zimmerman, groundouts.
Yeah, or a lot of broken bats because he has that late, if you want to call it slider, cutter, whatever it is. But his fastball gets on top of you. He's sneaky fast. He has nice, easy delivery, and he's got very good arm speed, and the ball gets on you very quick.
First pitch to Utley is inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Utley hitting .294. He has 8 home runs, 46 runs batted in. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball in there. Zimmerman's last start was against the Cubs. He went 6 innings, didn't allow a run, 7 hits allowed, struck out 5. Wound up winning that ball game 2-1. The Nationals, in half of his outings this year, have scored 1 run or less.
Hopefully it carries over to tonight.
Out towards center field. On the run is Span. He's got a track on it, and he puts it away, and the side is retired. Nothing across for the Phils. 9 pitches for Jordan Zimmerman. We've completed our first here in Philadelphia, and it's on to the second. It's a 7:15 start. Then on Sunday, they'll wrap up this series. It's the Pennsylvania Auto Theft Prevention Authority Tumbler. That's free to fans 15 and older. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Top of the second inning, the Phillies and the Nationals scoreless. Adam LaRoche will lead it off. LaRoche hitting .289 with 12 homers and 47 runs batted in. Three infielders on the right side of the diamond. The first pitch a little high. It's 1-0. It's kind of odd. Adam LaRoche backed off on a pitch that was pretty much right down the middle.
Well, it's a late high sinker. I guess you're not looking up there for those sinkers. You're looking them down and in. You get surprised.
That ball is rocketed out toward right center field. It's going to split the gap and go to the scoreboard. And LaRoche is going to go to second base with his 12th double of the year. So a leadoff two-base hit. It's his 6th hit in 18 at-bats against the Phils this year.
Well, it's just a 1-0 changeup. Pretty much down the middle of the plate, and he stays through it and drives it to right center.
Ryan Zimmerman was 2 for 7 in the series against the Orioles. He has struck out 6 times against A.J. Burnett during his career. Ground ball right side. That'll get LaRoche over to third, but the out is recorded. Well, let's take a look at tonight's current weather conditions, brought to you by Oliver Heating and Cooling. Visit oliverheatcool.com. 82 degrees, mostly cloudy. That was the weather, Matt, while we were in Milwaukee.
Hot.
Was it hot?
Very nice, though.
You know, the temperature got down into the 50s at night in Milwaukee.
I do. I watched the games, and 73 degrees some nights starting the game. Perfect baseball weather. Just like tonight.
Well, that'll bring Bryce Harper to the plate. Harper has struggled somewhat since his return from the DL. The Phillies will play the infield in. And a chopper over the mound. LaRoche doesn't go. Utley barehands and throws out Harper. It wasn't necessarily sprinting up the first base line, and there are 2 outs.
And that's the report right now with Bryce Harper is that he wants to attack every single baseball thrown at him. He's almost like he's in spring training mode. You know, with the infield in right there, and a very slow runner. I shouldn't say very slow. A little below average runner with LaRoche at third base. You just don't want to run into an out at home plate.
Yeah, Utley barehanded it because I think he thought, I'm going to barehand it and fire it home if LaRoche is going. Well, they still have a tough hitter, though, to deal with here in Wilson Ramos, who's hit in 13 straight games. His average at .293 overall. It's a good sinker right there. It's 0-1.
We talked about Sizemore coming to a new team and relaxing. Well, that's what you want to do when you come back off your DL. You're feeling pretty good. Your timing's pretty good right when you get back. With Bryce Harper, then all of a sudden a couple of games kick in, you lose your timing, and it's just like spring training all over again. You just want to go out and attack the baseball instead of slowing the game down and getting your feet underneath you again and having a nice solid easy contact.
Kind of make it up for lost time. We're trying to make up for lost time. By the way, that was a check swing by Ramos. I thought he went. The first base umpire, Andy Fletcher, said no. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Curve ball tapped foul at the third base line. During the 2014 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. In the dirt, blocked by Rupp. And it's 2-2. The yogurt on the road in Miami and Pittsburgh didn't do it for Jamie. Or Miami and Milwaukee, I should say. The milkshakes in Pittsburgh did it for him, but
they were legit. Those Pittsburgh ones, yep. No, he is a Turkey Hill. He enjoys his ice cream.
Swing and a miss. He got it. Second strikeout of the night for A.J. Burnett. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. Middle of the second, Ryan Howard will lead it off when we return. Phillies Sports Festival at the Fleece Touch Museum next Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon. You can play games and win surprises. Plus, the Phillies Sports Parade will take place at noon. And all folks who are 14 and under that are coming out for the Phillies Sports Festival will receive that great bag. Compliments of Comcast Sportsnet. It's a backpack. We live Phillies Sports Festival. Bottom of the second, Ryan Howard, Marlon Byrd, and Cody Ashe against Jordan Zimmerman. Well, this is the first chance we get a chance to talk to you in person about the adjustments that a bunch of the hitters have started to make over the last few days. Ryan Howard lowered his hands earlier in the week against the Brewers. He kind of changed that approach as the week went on. At least he's thinking about what he can do to try to get better. What did you think about the lowering of the hands?
I liked it. I think what it does is when you lower your hands, it lets you forget about everything else. Now you're concentrated on your hands being low. His hands are back up high again. But to me, he has to make the contact first and then throws his hips in. Right there was a perfect example. He makes that solid contact, and he's driving the ball with his hips, his backside. Now, the previous 30 at-bats, when he was swinging, it was almost like a walkthrough. As he was swinging, he was striding at the same time with his back foot, and it was landing on home plate. So that just tells me that what he's doing is one, he's not, his timing's off. A lot of things, too, I find he's tied up in his shoulders. And a lot of times if a guy gets in the stance and you just take a deep breath and drop your shoulders, we've talked about this before, it relaxes your swing and it speeds it to the zone. But what he's doing with the hands being lower and being back up, all it is basically just giving your mind a thought process and going back in there.
Yeah, and then I guess what you're hoping your mind does, mind over matter, is to get back to where you need it to be.
Right, and that's all it is. And it doesn't matter where you have your hands low or high. It's just a matter of as long as you get started. And to me, right there, the only problem I have is that his back elbow goes up too high. And once it goes up too high, then it's all of a sudden a loop to get out of the zone.
Marlon Byrd hits one off the glove of Espinosa into shallow left field. He'll hold up at first, so that's the first hit of the day for the Phillies. A one-out single, and that'll bring Cody Ashe to the plate.
But you can start your hands low. You can start them high. Doesn't matter where you start your hands. When you get back to that position of being in that power position, your hands go there no matter what. Low, high, medium, could be behind your head if it doesn't matter. They're going to go back into that proper position.
I like that thought, though, with what you're saying about it's at least getting his mind working and trying to get him out of whatever he's doing incorrectly.
Well, you step in the batter's box, my hands are low. Okay, are my hands okay? Are my hands in a good spot? Oh, all of a sudden now you're not thinking about nothing else.
A hit and run by the Phils, a line drive base hit to center. Span gets on it quickly, so that holds Marlon Byrd at second base.
Well, we are talking about hitting, so I'll keep on talking because we got a little rally going. I like the situation. They've done it a couple of times with Cody Ashley. Doing a hit and run just makes you forget about all your mechanics. You get out there and you take an aggressive swing, thinking down on the ball because you want to hit a line drive or a ground ball. So it just helps you, and that's another way to get guys who aren't swinging the bat well. You don't think about nothing except for contact.
Dominic Brown is the hitter. Brown was 4 for 15 in the series against the Brewers. Phillies have runners up first and second with one man down. Overall, Dominic was 7 for 28 on the road trip. Still hitting well with runners in scoring position. And he rips that one toward right center field. That's going to split the gap, and it's going to go to the wall. One run is in. Rounding third, being waved home is Cody Ashley. The throw by Rendon is not in time. He scores standing. And the Phils take a 2-0 lead.
Well, perfect timing about how he's been swinging the bat with the runners in scoring position. Being aggressive in that situation, knowing that Zimmerman throws almost 70% of the chances he's going to throw a fastball. And he gets up there and he gets a fastball inside to hit and he drives it to right center.
I'm not sure what they're doing in the bullpen, but it's funny. Whatever it is, it's funny.
That's just a situation, having the scouting report and knowing that Zimmerman enjoys throwing the first pitch fastballs. Being ready for it, he swung the bat well towards the end of the road trip. I like his approach. He had the big leg kick. Now he went back to the toe tap. Well, just mind over matter. He stopped thinking so much.
Well, the Phillies have taken the early lead, and now Cameron Rupp takes a breaking ball. It's 0-1. For Dominic Brown, it's RBIs 45 and 46. He's now tied with Chase Utley for third on the team in runs batted in. Rupp fouls it away. It's 0-2. Cameron Rupp and Cesar Hernandez probably had, before the scoring, the two biggest at-bats in that inning yesterday where the Phillies scored the 7 runs. Because Garza had only allowed the one base hit. And then Rupp doubled. He struck out, and there's 2 outs. That rally kind of woke everybody up again, Murph, and it was nice to see, not only Rupp getting the double, but then Cesar working that walk-off.
Yeah, when I talked to Jimmy Rollins after the game, he talked about that Cesar Hernandez at bat being so important to beginning that rally. And really, it was an historic kind of rally. The first time in over 40 years that a team had scored 9 runs after being no hit through 6, which is exactly what the Phils were able to do. Last team to do that was the A's back in 1972. And get this, guys, it's also the first time a last-place team, the Phils, has swept a first-place team, the Brewers, in a 4-game series. First time ever it's ever happened. So it was a pretty good turn of events for sure over the weekend in Milwaukee.
How about that, though?
But that wasn't the weekend.
Well, it felt like the weekend.
It did. I'm so confused.
Murph, every day is Sunday, Murph. Every day feels like Sunday.
Especially when you have a day game like we did yesterday. I've been convinced it's Monday all day today.
Every day is like a Sunday to Murph, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, that's true as well.
No balls and 1 strike to A.J. Burnett, and he tracks it foul. It's 0-2. I think that note that Murph threw up there is intriguing. The fact that, well, the first time a last place team has swept a first place team in a 4-game series. I mean, think about the history of this game. Outside, 1-2 to Burnett.
Well, when we went to Houston that year, 2009, didn't we get swept in a 4-game series?
Was it 3 or 4? Or did they sweep them? I think it was 3 or 4. Swing and a miss. Well, we'll have time to think about it. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Zimmerman, but Dominic Brown's 2-run double has given the Phillies the early lead. Pretty good swing. Dominic went up looking for something, and he found it. They brought home 2. And we'll go to the third, and the Phillies up 2-0. Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, I know you've been practicing at home. Who was the first Phillies pitcher to start an All-Star game on this date in 1950? Answer will be revealed a little later on. Dominic Brown's 2-run double has given the Phillies a 2-run lead.
Is that the year Moyer made the All-Star team?
Back in 1950?
Yeah, see, he's home right now. I can take the jabs at him. I heard him on TV.
Yeah, he was taking some jabs at you, wasn't he?
That's fine.
I was there to defend your honor. As long as it wasn't, if it was funny, I let it go.
1950.
I think if you think about this one, I think you'll get it pretty easy. Here's Danny Espinosa, who's hitting just .214. He's playing shortstop tonight for Ian Desmond, who got hit by a pitch in the wrist, and I guess they're saying he's day-to-day. He said he was fine after yesterday's ball game against the Orioles, but they're going to give him at least today. A 1 pitch from Burnett in there for a strike. It's 0-2. By the way, Steel Trap, you are right. The Astros did sweep the Phillies back in 2009, but they were in 4th place. They were not in last place.
They probably jumped to 3rd after that sweep.
Inside, 1-2. A.J. Burnett has 2 strikeouts tonight, so he has 104 on the season. He's 49th all time in the history of baseball in strikeouts. And he's just 9 away from passing Doc Gooden. It says a lot when you're sitting in the top 50 of all time in strikeouts in baseball history.
I mean, I believe that we hear the number top 50 of baseball. But think about how many people have played this game, how many great pitchers, and you can be in the top 50 of strikeouts.
And you would think he's still climbing too. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. One away here in the third. So this will be the last homestand before the All-Star break. But when the Phillies come back from Atlanta, they'll take on the San Francisco Giants in a 4-game series, 3 night games, and then the series wraps up on Thursday the 24th with a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Modell's Kids Run the Bases after the game. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Here's Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman hitting .207. He has scored 2 runs this year. He has no RBIs. He is a guy, though, that does have a home run in his career. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's 4 strikeouts, excuse me, for A.J. Burnett. He has struck out the last 3 batters. And now to the top of the order. Fans, the next time you're looking to pick up great seats to the game, head to StubHub, where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Phillies tickets. StubHub, your ticket to upgrades and more. Denard Span singled his first time up. Breaking ball. Mike Winters thought low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Keeping the ball out of the air. 4 ground outs, 4 strikeouts so far for Burnett. Chopper right side. Ryan Howard hits it, hit off his glove. It's knocked down by Utley. Well, sometimes first basemen range a little too far for a ball, and that's exactly what happened there. That was Chase Utley's ball the whole way, and Ryan thought that he would be able to roam over and get it and flip it to A.J. Burnett.
Well, I mean, that's one thing about playing first base is that once you commit, you have to go after it. And if he makes the play, it's an easy out. If he misses it, it goes right to Chase. But I've been there and I've done the exact same thing, and afterwards, like, all right, I won't go that far again. And that's where you need your second baseman to be communicating with you and yelling, I got to let it go, I got to let it go.
So they scored a base hit, so it's the 3rd hit. There goes Span. The pitch is low. The throw to second is off the foot of Span. And it was kicked right over to Jimmy Rollins. So the stolen base, the 15th of the year.
Well, Cameron throws an absolute strike to second base, but by the time he came out of the squatting position to throw to second base, Span was only about 10 feet away from sliding. Tremendous jump. That's the type of jump that I never got in the game.
The man's been a base stealer a long time, though. He's figured it out. Popped him up. Right side. Howard comes storming down. He says he has it. Side is retired. So a couple extra pitches for A.J. Burnett. No runs, 1 hit and 1 man left. Middle of the 3rd, top of the order. We'll get another chance when we return. is brought to you by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW for an appointment. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Bottom of the third, Grady Sizemore will lead it off for the Phillies. It'll be Sizemore, Rollins, and Chase Utley against right-hander Jordan Zimmerman. Sizemore grounded out his first time up. Breaking ball in there. It's 0-1. Some of the particulars on Sizemore's resume: a 3-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover. There was a point in his career where he was just a flat-out doubles machine, and he breaks his bat and bloops one into right for a base hit. And he's aboard to start the third. He hasn't played every day, or hadn't played in the big league since 2011, but he hasn't played every day really since 09, 2010.
Well, the big thing I like is at the age of 31, and he's a veteran. He's been around. He's played a lot of games. He's played in some playoff games. I like him as a player. I did when I played against him. I thought he was a game changer all around, defensively, offensively. So whenever I thought it was a good signing when Boston let him go. I think there's a lot of information out there that I don't think we really know what was going on in Boston, why they let him go. Contract kicking in, incentive bonuses, being there a certain amount of time.
A lot of young guys who they wanted to give time to.
So
throw over to first base. Well, Murph, while he was with the Red Sox, he stole 5 bases. He wasn't caught at all, and he still can run. There's no doubt about that, even with all the leg injuries he's had.
Yeah, and he was talking about that today. We got a chance to talk to him before the game very briefly, but he was saying that every single day he feels like he's getting stronger and stronger, and that's part of the process that he's in right now. Is he is not maybe 100%, but he's getting better and better every day from a physical standpoint. And Ryan Sandberg said that today as well. He said, here's a guy that has all the tools to be an all-star once again, but he's not a guy that can play 7 days a week at this point in his career. He may get to that point, but he's not there right now.
That ball's hit well deep to right field. A towering shot. It is gone! A 2-run home run for Jimmy Rollins. It's now a 4-0 ball game here in the third. Ten home runs for Rollins. And it makes a winner out of John Leary of Philadelphia. He's just won $100.
Just an elevated fastball. Jimmy takes a nice easy swing, gets that top hand through to drive it to right field, and they call a Yahoo ball, back up 2 more runs.
And now a base hit for Chase Utley to right center field. Utley around first, he'll hold up there as Span gets to it quickly. 3 straight hits now for the Phils. Rollins with his 2nd home run in the last 3 games. He has 6 RBIs now in the last 3 ball games. Steve Henderson certainly liked that swing.
I think you got to like any time you hit a home run. It could be an ugly swing as long as it goes out of the ballpark.
And you're usually pretty chatty after it's over, too.
Yep.
Breaking ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Howard struck out his first time up. Well, the Phillies have gotten 4 runs against a guy that since the 1st of June had an earned run average of 1.26 and had a batting average against of .204. Nice way to start a 3-game series.
That last swing by Reinwood, it was a very good pass straight to the ball. Now, even you might strike out, you might make an out, doesn't matter. At least walk away saying, you know what, I had a good pass at that ball. Build off that.
Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramos did bring it back a little bit. Phillies during the road trip, or during the 4 games against the Brewers, had 25 hits, which was an average of a little more than 6 per game. Ryan Sandberg certainly like that. 10 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 5 home runs. That one's grounded off the glove of LaRoche, picked up by Rendon. They'll still be able to get Howard out. Up to second goes Utley. 3-4-1 on the putout, and there's one away. And that'll bring Marlon Byrd to the plate. By the way, the Phillies also walked 10 times in that series against the Brewers.
You know, I had a chance to watch the Miami series, and of course, I was in Pittsburgh, and I watched the Milwaukee Brewers series, even from the golf course yesterday, driving around, and what impressed me was working the count, getting in the hitter's count, and take an aggressive swing. And it didn't matter who it was. Ben Rivera hits that ground rule double to right center. And when I say a power swing, I know not everyone's going to hit home runs, but when you take an aggressive and a proper swing going through the zone, a guy throwing 94, 95 is generating the power. You put a good swing on it, that ball is coming off that bat hot, and it's going far.
In that hitters meeting that you talked about that they had, Jimmy Rollins made sure to point that out a couple of different times. It's almost as if they've refocused themselves, whether it's helped or not. I mean, the numbers say that it has, at least at this point. But that was good that they had that meeting together.
It is, and if they look back in the whole year, they've had pressure on the starting pitcher in the first inning a lot of times. They might not have scored. But how many times have we walked the and say, okay, well, we saw 26 pitches at it.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, the second, third, and fourth inning, they get away from it. You're seeing 27 pitches in a total of 3 innings.
That ball's ripped down the left field line. Foul. Just foul. Chase Utley's looking. The fans saw something a little different there. Let's take a look. This is reviewable. Okay, it's a foul ball. I think because all that dirt popped up, everybody thought that was chalk.
Well, that's the ball when we did the game above the State Farm on left center. There was a ball hit down the line. Correct.
Yeah, we thought the same thing, as our angle was kind of off center. No balls, 2 strikes, runner at second. Outside, 1-2. have to say the playing field looks fantastic considering the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert. I mean, look how beautiful it looks. There's some different markings, but you'd never know. Inside, 2-2. Oh, this he's only thrown 40 pitches. Four strikeouts now for Jordan Zimmerman. And that'll bring Cody Ashe to the plate. Phillies are 14-1 over the last 15 games when scoring 4 runs or more. You see their overall record to the right. Nationals record, you want to talk about front running, 40-3. It says a lot about their bullpen too. Well, Ryan Sandberg's team has a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. And Cody Ashe's the batter. Outside, 1-0.
When they have the concert here, was it last weekend?
That's a good question. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cody Ashe. Foul tip, and it's 1-2. Trying to think about the days that we were gone. Was on Saturday, July 5th. For some reason I thought the 5th was Sunday. Saturday, July 5th. Swing and a miss. High fastball on the side is retired. So 5 strikeouts for Zimmerman overall, but the Phillies have touched him for 4 runs. 4 runs on 6 hits. In this inning, it was Jimmy Rollins who launched his 10th home run of the season. He knew it had a chance once it left the bat. We'll go to the top of the 4th inning with the Phillies up 4-0. Down to W.B. Mason's What a Bargain for amazingly low prices on new and slightly used office furniture, equipment, and supplies. You'll be the office MVP. Visit whatabargain.com. Top of the 4th inning, the Phillies lead at 4-0. Jason Worth will lead things off. Well, the Phillies have started to rise up on the list of shutdown innings. They're 6th right now in the National League. Nationals are 2nd.
The Cardinals 87%.
It's remarkable for a staff. In a lot of ways, it's still a young staff.
And I'm sorry, Tom. And I think right there with that first pitch, throwing that hard curveball / slider, is the reason why Jason Worth has been hitting the ball well this month. Is because he's been more aggressive in attacking the hitters.
I guess A.J. Burnett knew that by throwing him the curveball in the first pitch. In fact, he threw back-to-back breaking pitches. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball. A.J. prior to that last outing against the Nationals, and I didn't realize this, and I guess it's because he wasn't a member of the Phillies, so it wasn't on the forefront of our minds. But we mentioned how he got roughed up. He allowed 8 runs on 10 hits in 6 innings. Well, prior to that, he had been 5-0 in 9 starts with a 1.82 ERA against the Nationals. Worth lays off, and it's 3-2. Ground ball to shortstop. With 1 out, Adam LaRoche is coming to the plate. On Friday, July 25th, the Phillies will entertain the Arizona Diamondbacks 3-game series. Outstanding giveaways on Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, it's the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 98 Cole Hamels t-shirt. That's free to fans 14 and under. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Well, here's LaRoche, who doubled his last time up. It was the 5th double of his career against A.J. Burnett. He has 12 hits overall against him. And a 2-seamer on the inside corner. It's 0-1.
That first pitch, that front door sinker, is a pitch you have to be careful with, because LaRoche, remember, in Washington, hit one off KK a mile, and it's just a reaction for him because he really never closes up. He stays open with the stance, and he gets to that ball pretty easily. So that being said, we need to stay away from backing up that pitch back to back. It's okay if you want to go in there for ball purpose to open up the outside of the plate, but if you're going to get in there far.
Well, they go with another breaking pitch, so it remains 0-2. So at a Major League scoreboard, the Mets are shutting out the Marlins 4-0. Lucas Duda, who's been hot for New York, has a 2-run home run. Mets and the Phillies have both started to get hot over the last few days together. Mets wound up losing yesterday, but they've been better lately. And of course, the Phillies have won 4 straight. Couple of foul balls by LaRoche, and it remains 1-2.
Talked about the teams being hot, playing well right now, and I was probably one of the dumbest hitters to play the game. I would get hot just before the All-Star break or just before the season was ending.
Maybe you were relaxing, thinking you're going to have a few days off. A high fly ball to left center field. Dominic Brown says he has it. Well, there are 2 outs. That'll bring Ryan Zimmerman to the plate. Well, speaking of getting hot, Jimmy Rollins provides us with our Geico quote of the day. It was a good way to end the road trip, unlike the last road trip that started out great and ended bad and continued. Hopefully we can reverse that, get these next 3 games, go to the All-Star break and see where we are coming out. Talking about building off the Brewers series. Now, the Phillies have not built a whole lot of equity into this season, so they're going to have to put together a heck of a run to have any positive thoughts about where they come out. But it was nice to see them play better in that series against the Brewers. Two balls and no strikes to Zimmerman.
I'll tell you what I enjoyed with that game was the energy level they had. They took the crowd out of it early. You could just tell, minus the last game, of course, they got no hit through, 6 innings or whatever. So what? I just enjoyed the high fives they were giving in the dugout and the handshakes each of the guys come up with. I mean, they had fun. And it was nice to see the big smiles on their faces, knowing that they were playing good baseball at that time.
Well, you saw them in Pittsburgh. I mean, they limped to Milwaukee.
Oof.
I mean, it was ugly. Zimmerman takes a strike. It's 3-1.
I'm going to say I'm going to say they walked backwards to Milwaukee. That's how bad that series was.
It's bad.
It was. Yeah, that was.
Well, the Miami series wasn't great either, but the Pittsburgh series.
11 hits in 3 games.
3-2 to Zimmerman.
But the bottom line is they won 4 in Milwaukee and they're up 4-0 going in the top of the 4th. I shouldn't say go on the top of the 4th with 2 outs.
Oh, yeah, we're here. Bryce Harper's on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Zimmerman. AJ Burnett has his signs. And that one just missed. And that's his first walk. This is what we're talking about in Milwaukee.
See, everyone has different handshakes. I had the old-fashioned handshake, and that was it.
Just a good firm handshake.
Firm handshake. It's funny we didn't see Chase doing any of these high fives.
Well, if they win, he'd buy into it. Easy ground ball to Ryan Howard. Again, Harper aggressive. No runs, no hits, 1 man left, and a shutout inning for AJ Burnett. That'll take us to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Philadelphia. The Phillies lead the Nationals 4-0. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Delaware Valley Honda. Visit your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or shop Honda.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. On a warm night here in Philadelphia, the Phillies lead at 4-0. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Game one of a 3-game series. Dominic Brown's going to lead it off. Brown had a 2-run double his last time up. Well, Murph, we know that Chase Utley is going to Minnesota to represent the Phillies in this year's All-Star game. Jordan Zimmerman's going to represent the Nationals. The Phillies, though, have another representative who's going to go to Minnesota.
Yeah, the guy at the plate last year was an All-Star, and the Phils, as you mentioned, Tom, will have 2 All-Stars this year, and Chase Utley and their strength and conditioning coach, Paul Fournier, also selected by Major League Baseball to represent the National League at the All-Star game. It is quite an honor for those guys. It doesn't happen very often in their career. It's the first time Paul has been selected to head off to an All-Star game. I was talking to him about it today, and he won't have any real official duties. He will be part of the Home Run Derby contest. He will also be in the dugout during the actual game, and if guys need to be stretched out, or he'll help with anything that they need. But really, it's just an honor for him to be selected and to get sent out there. He's going to take the whole family with him, so he's excited about it. He doesn't get the days off now. He's got to go to work in Minnesota, but really, it's cool for him, and we're very happy for him. So congratulations to Paul.
Yeah, Paul's a very good guy. He's done a nice job in his first year up here in the big leagues with the Phillies. I think whatever role you're in, it's a great honor to be out there. There's a pop-up on the left side.
Yeah, just another Canadian going to an All-Star game.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. That's right. You know, Paul started his career with the Montreal Expos, and he's also been with the Florida Marlins before joining the Phillies organization in 2013. So, you know, he's been with the organization for 2 years. This is his first year up with the big club. But, you know, like we said, it really is cool. They kind of do it by seniority, and he's been in the big leagues for many, many years, almost 10, 11 years at this point. So that is part of it. But his first chance to get out to an All-Star game. So good for him.
Another Canadian going to be out there, Matt. Justin Morneau is going to be in the Home Run Derby.
The homer in Target Field.
Cameron Rupp takes up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rupp struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rupp.
He's going to find it interesting in that home run contest at Target Field. That place is huge.
Baseball still seem to fly, though, in the Home Run Derby.
Yes, they do.
You know, I wondered if there was something wrong with Jordan Zimmerman in the last inning, and here comes Steve McCatty, Matt Williams, and the Nationals athletic trainer. After he went over to cover first on the 3-4-1 putout, Wilson Ramos was pretty slow to get out to the mound and give him some time, and Zimmerman was walking pretty slow from over first base. There's the last pitch. I don't think he's going to continue. In fact, they've just signaled out to the bullpen. They're going to have somebody coming in to take over for him. Craig Stammen took his pullover off out in the bullpen. So it looks like it might be Stammen that's going to come in for Jordan Zimmerman. So we're going to have a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park, and Stammen will get as much time as he needs to get himself warmed up. But from a national standpoint, this is not a good sign. So Jordan Zimmerman's night is done. The Phillies have touched him for 6 hits and 4 runs. We'll be back after this. New pitcher for the Nationals. Hey, it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown at an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Craig Stammen's going to be the new pitcher for the Nationals. Their starting pitcher, Jordan Zimmermann, has been lifted with an apparent injury. So Stammen is in the middle of his warm-up tosses. He's 0-4, an ERA of 3.65. I guess he's considered their long man. He's been a pretty good pitcher for them the last couple of years.
No, and he's a guy who comes out of the bullpen. He can throw a lot of innings. He can spot start for you, whatever you need. Four-pitch pitcher, but you're going to see him top at about 92 miles an hour. Fastball, curveball, change, and a slider.
Well, he's going to face Cameron Rupp once he's all warmed up and ready to go. Well, a reminder that the Powerball will go off on Wednesdays and Saturdays. $40 million for the Powerball. The Mega Millions Tuesdays and Fridays. That's at $32 million. That's going to go off today, or tonight, I should say. So if you play, good luck. We've already given out $100 today with the McDonald's home run jackpot. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cameron Rupp with one man down. So this batter still belongs, or still is, the responsibility of Craig Stammen. At a swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs. Yeah, the line is complete on Jordan Zimmermann. 4 runs, all 4 earned. 5 strikeouts, no walks tonight. I don't know how that feels as a hitter. It's 2-2. You get up there, you get 1 pitch, and you're out.
I don't know, but I've seen it in AAA where I had a manager with the Red Sox, Buddy Bailey, had no balls, 2 strikes, right-hander versus the left-hander. Now 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th.
Was this for Pawtucket?
Yep, AAA. Calls time, goes in and gets the left-hander because then throws his nasty curveball, game over. On an 0-2 pitch. You talk about over-managing.
Buddy Bailey was a very good Winter League manager.
Until I fired him.
You fired him?
Yes, sir.
How did you fire him?
I was part owner of the team in Mexico. Los Mayos de Navajo. I played down there for 7 years.
You fired Buddy Bailey?
I had him the previous season. He was my manager. He came down and played for the team that I was part owner playing for.
He came down and managed?
He came down and managed. And we struggled. With 9 games to go, I gave him the last paycheck. And then they hired me to take over as manager.
I can't believe you fired Buddy Bailey as a manager. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a called strike 3. Burnett's down looking. And the competitor that he is, I think he thought that pitch was a little low. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Man, I find something new about you every single day. answer. All right, Matt, who was the first Phillies pitcher to start an All-Star game on this date in 1950?
Robin Roberts.
Robin Roberts is correct. In fact, he started the decade's first 6 All-Star games. That one was at Comiskey Park. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Jeep Stump the Fans. Robin's number 36, of course, retired here in Philadelphia, rightfully so. One of my favorite people of all time to get there and just talk baseball with. He was great. We go to the top of the 5th. Wilson Ramos will lead it off. It'll be Ramos Espinosa. And then the pitcher's spot, it'll be Stammen. A.J. Burnett delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Ramos struck out his first time up. One of 4 strikeouts for Burnett tonight. That was a pretty good breaking pitch right there. Mike Winters is the crew chief. He's a good ball and strike umpire. He's behind the plate. Andy Fletcher's over at first. Toby Basner at second. And Mark Wagner at third. Little chopper foul, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, technically, whenever a pitcher throws a curveball and you catch it before it bounces, it's crossing the plate high enough to be a strike, even though if it is below the knees. True?
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's a few pitches that AJ's made that he hasn't got the call.
A line drive to right field. That'll be a base hit. It's cut off by Bird. Sort of splashed in that sand. And Marlin does a heck of a job turning and throwing in time to hold Ramos, not a fast runner, over at first. This Sunday, watch the Phils finish their series with the Nationals. Matt and I will be up here in the booth with Mike Schmidt. Sundays with Schmidt. This Sunday at 1:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. You're going to want to tune in at 1:30 for the first half moments of the year. Even though it's been a sort of less than enjoyable, as that one's chopped to second, but they will get the runner at second. Less than enjoyable first half record-wise, 10 games under 500. There have been some pretty good moments. So Espinosa's over at first. That'll bring Stammen to the plate. He'll bat for the first time. Stammen does have 10 RBIs. He has 1 hit in 4 at-bats so far this year. Cody Ashley's in on the grass at third as he squares. 0-1.
So just to follow up on that winter ball story.
So did you get an email or something?
No. When I took over as manager, so I'm playing right field. I'm calling timeout, jogging into the pitchers now to make a pitching change. And then the following year, Alonzo Bundy and I were co-managers together.
That one's butted toward the mound. Burnett off the hill, peaks at second. Sacrifice is successful. See, that's better, though, that you had somebody like Lorenzo to be able to do the changes, so you don't have to run in from whatever position you were playing.
That's why I usually put myself at first base or DH. like a walk to the mound.
Did you like being a player manager? I mean, did you like that part of it?
Very tough.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because you got to be, how can I put it nicely, on TV.
You got to be objective in a lot of ways.
Well, you got to.
But you're also friends with these guys.
Well, that's what you cannot be. You cannot be friends with them. You have to put that aside.
I think that's hard to do, particularly when you've been playing alongside them for
5 years.
Yeah,
it was tough. But I enjoyed it. We went 8-1, lost the first round of the playoffs. I said I got outmanaged, and I went home.
Here's Denard Span. He's reached base twice tonight. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Trot Nixon was.
I like Trot. Trot was good.
Kevin Millar.
I like Kevin.
Nico Riesco, who was a top pick for the New York Mets a long time ago.
I don't know him.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So, it was fun. Good experience.
Change up, and it's 0-2. Through a back-to-back change-ups. Got him swinging on one, and the other one a called strike. So it's no balls and 2 strikes to Denard Span. A.J. Burnett trying to finish off the Nationals here in the 5th. They've been swinging early. He has 4 one-pitch outs so far in this ballgame. Just missed inside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got it with a breaking pitch. Span is down on strikes. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. 5 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. And this is the last one right here. This is a nasty pitch. Well, he's got that ball moving tonight. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Phillies.com for details. Bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Grady Sizemore, Jimmy Rollins, and Chase Utley. On a cloudy night here in Philadelphia, but the offense has brightened some things up here. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Phils offense. Sizemore takes low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. mentioned that Sizemore last played in the major leagues in 2011 before this year with the Red Sox. That one's hit well out toward left field. On the run is Harper back toward the track, and he makes the catch. And there's one away. He played 71 games that year in 2011. He's had 2 different microfracture surgeries, one to each knee. Sometimes you don't come back from just one microfracture surgery. Here's Jimmy Rollins coming up. Rollins homered his last time up. It's time now for our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. 10th home run of the season. It's his 11th season with double-digit home runs. He's tied for the second most in Phillies history with Del Ennis. Schmidt has the most with 16. That may be another record that Schmidt's going to hang on to. 1 ball and no strikes to Rollins. Breaking ball.
Back in the 3rd inning, gets a fastball elevated and gets it to right field, and he's played this bark a lot of times. He knows it's a home run. Now it's interesting seeing Jimmy. I talked to him before the game. I asked him, all right, Jordan Zimmerman, open stance or closed stance? He said open stance. Gets that cutter inside. Now he has a closed stance. So he's not worried about the fastball inside.
That's remarkable that he could switch it depending on the pitcher. I would think if you're a guy with an open stance, you got to be open no matter who's going to be throwing to you.
Well, this is the stance that Jimmy had early in the season. Front toe turned in, locks that front hip in, get that pitch, and he just missed another one.
Fly ball to left center field. Span and Harper, and it's Span. 2 outs. 4 in a row retired by Stammen. And that'll bring Chase Utley to the plate.
See, with this foot here staying in, what it does is it locks his hip in here a little longer. And as he does through the toe tap, all it is a matter of that hip turns in, the balance stays here, head doesn't move a whole lot, and the bat angle is very good straight to the ball. The only thing is, the difference from that swing and the home run swing hit the right field was the top hand didn't go through the zone. It was more of a glider instead of a thrower going through there.
Inside to Utley, 1 ball and no strikes.
Like it's so easy for a left-handed hitter to hit a fastball inside, downing in, because it's a natural swing for us because you're taking that bottom hand and you're pulling it through the zone. When Jimmy gets in trouble is those pitches up in the zone, he forgets to use that top hand more, and he kind of glides his bottom hand to the ball, so you kind of get a lazy swing. And that's why we talked about before the game was use that top hand on every swing, especially with pitches up in the zone.
Ground ball back to the mound. An easy inning for Stammen. The side is retired. So the Phillies go down 1-2-3. They've been retired in order the last 2 innings. We played 5. We go to the 6th. Phillies 4. Nationals nothing. The week was named the starting second baseman for the 2014 All-Star Game. With over 2.5 million votes, Chase Utley was easily the fans' pick to represent the Phillies in Minneapolis. In All-Star Game history, only Hall of Famers Ryne Sandberg and Joe Morgan have started more games at second base for the National League. Chase is respected all around baseball for the same reasons he is beloved in Philadelphia. And his 6th trip to the Midsummer Classic is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, this is Hannibal, who's doing some breakdancing. I don't know how they do that, but he does it pretty well. And he was challenged to a breakdancing contest by the Fanatic. So here's the Fanatics breakdancing. All right, Matt, this is right along everybody else's lines.
That's my speed right there.
That's right. Hannibal's thinking, this is a walk. Here, Dan Baker in the background saying it looks like a tie. Well, we'll say tie for at least now. Well, that Hannibal, though, watched him during pregame. And breakdancing, I didn't know they still did that, but it's pretty remarkable. Here's Anthony Rendon here as we go to the top of the 6th. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Rendon. Rendon has grounded it to a double play. He's popped out to Howard. This one is whacked over to shortstop. Rollins is up with it. Well, this Tuesday, the stars will be aligned for the 2014 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. The best of the National League take on the American League's elite. Don't miss the action Tuesday, July 15th on Fox. Chase Utley will make the start for the National League at second base. Jason Worth is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out to short. That one ran inside, frustrating A.J. Burnett. It's 3-0. I don't think anybody can ever live up to the hype of the dollars that, let's say, Jason Worth was given by the Washington Nationals, but he's been pretty solid for them since he left the Phillies. Heck, in a lot of ways, the Phillies miss his bat in the middle of this order.
Well, and you miss the leadership he brings in the locker room. His positive energy. He might not be a real loud leader, but what he does, he goes out and plays the game. He plays the game hard.
And he does that a lot. He walks a lot. So he's aboard with 1 out here in the 6th. That'll bring LaRoche to the plate. He's 1 for 2. LaRoche was retired by Dominic Brown his last time up on a line drive to left center field. Pitches by inning, 10 in the first, 9 in the second, 13 in the last inning, and he's got 9 so far here with 1 out. Chopper right side. He'll have 1 play, and that'll be at first. Up to second goes Jason Worth, 4-3 in the putout, so another ground ball out. So the only out that was recorded in the air was the fly ball by LaRoche, and the pop-up by Anthony Rendon. That's it. Everything else has been a ground ball or a strikeout. Every time the Phillies pitchers retired the opposition 1-2-3, which AJ has not done yet tonight. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Zimmerman is grounded out and he is walked. One of 2 walks issued by Burnett. Breaking ball a little low. It's 1-0.
Well, with Hernandez, Buchanan, and AJ in the last 3 starts, they've had the late movement, but they're getting the ground balls because they're working down in the zone. They're not overthrowing. They're staying within themselves at 92, 93 mile an hour sinkers and hitting your spot just like that. And it's very hard to elevate a low pitch. And it's usually the balls that are up in the zone get crushed out of the ballpark. We saw with Jimmy Rollins hitting the home run. Dominic Brown hitting the ball to right center for the double. Ball's up in the zone. So, like what Jamie always says, get on top, go through, down through the zone, and hit that glove down low.
One ball and 2 strikes. And I know I've said this time and time again, but Cameron Rupp does a nice job behind the plate, just framing and handling the pitches.
Well, and especially him and Ramos, 2 big guys, have very soft hands receiving.
Line drive caught by Chase Utley at second, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We've played 5.5. The Phillies still on top 4-0 as Ryan Howard will lead it off when we return. Nissan. Get to your local Nissan store for the ride of your life and save big today. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by WB Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Phillies on top 4-0. They'll send Ryan Howard, Marlon Byrd, and Cody Ashley to the plate against right-hander Craig Stammen, who's on in relief of the injured Jordan Zimmerman. We have not received an update yet on why Zimmerman was lifted from this ballgame. Howard's 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. It may have been his ground out that aggravated whatever it is that Zimmerman is feeling, because he was pretty slow to get back to the mound after covering first on that ground out. Outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan. Ryan pulverized a home run yesterday for 425 feet to right center field. 3-1 on the putout, so 1 away here in the 6th. now Marlon Byrd is 1 for 2. On the inside corner, 0-1. Ball and 1 strike to Marlon Byrd. Down the right field line. That's well hit. Worth on the run. Out toward the board, and it's off the top of the scoreboard. And Marlon hustles his way to second with a stand-up double. th double of the season for Marlon Byrd to go along with 18 home runs.
Well, it just shows you how strong and how good of bat speed he has. Fastball under third, down the zone a little bit. Nice timing with the leg kick. Hand stays back, drives that ball to right field. But it's just when he gets in trouble, it's when he swings at that elevated fastball. And we talked about the hands being low and hands being high. If you look where his hands start and where he finishes to that contact, his hands are back up in the zone.
Kobayashi takes a curve ball and it's 0-1. Popped him up. Ryan Zimmerman from third base makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. Back to second goes Marlon Byrd. Dominic Brown is coming up. Last time we saw Ryan Zimmerman, he was playing left field. He had returned from the disabled list. And he was playing left field for the Nationals instead of third base because they didn't have anybody to play left field on an everyday basis. Matt Williams said even at the time that it wasn't set in stone that he was going to play left, that when Harper came back they'd make a decision. And the decision was he would go back to third. I think if they eventually move Zimmerman anywhere, would you agree with this? It'd probably be first base?
Or an American League team to DH.
I just assumed they would keep him.
It's kind of hard to get rid of Adam Roach, who's putting up solid numbers every year.
1 ball and no strikes to Brown. But eventually.
Then I will agree with you, yes. He's been picking it. He's been playing good defense over at third base. He's just still having that real hard time of getting the ball from third to first on a consistent basis with something behind it.
Inside 3-1 to Dominic Brown. See how careful they are here with Brown, who has 2 RBIs tonight and a 2-run double. He'll be followed by Rupp, who's on deck. An awesome smile. 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So Browns aboard. That'll put runners on first and second. Rupp will bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Tomorrow the Phillies will take on these Nationals at 7:15, and the giveaway, thanks to the great folks at SEPTA, is the Fanatic Beach Towel, free to fans 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased for tomorrow's ball game and for Sunday afternoon's game by going to Phillies.com. Rupp dribbles one foul off the third base line. No balls and 1 strike.
I'd like to see Cameron get a hanging slider and see how far he can hit the left field.
Well, I know it's not the same thing, but watching his batting practice in Milwaukee, I mean,
not the same thing, but it's there.
He was absolutely crushing the ball. A liner out toward left field. Harper going back. It is up the top of the wall. Bird will score. Here comes Brown. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Espinosa. He is out at home plate. An RBI double for Cameron Rupp. It's a 5-0 ball game. Nice exchange by Espinosa on the relay throw from Harper. We'll go to the 7th inning. The Phils on top by 5. It's time now for your local Honda dealers game summary. 5-0 Phillies as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Wilson Ramos has extended his hitting streak to 14 straight games, but the story tonight is the Phillies offense early against Jordan Zimmerman and what A.J. Burnett's been able to do. Over 6 innings, he has struck out 5. And he'll go to work here in the top of the 7th against Bryce Harper. Harper just picked up his 3rd outfield assist of the season on a very good exchange to Danny Espinosa to nail Dominic Brown to wrap up the bottom of the 6th. Pete McCannon taking a chance, and it was a smart chance because A.J. Burnett was due up next, and you figure, well, let's see if they can make an errant throw. Still get 1 out of it. That ball is smoked, and it's not coming back. 2nd home run of the year for Harper. He had been 0 for his last 15. It's a 5-1 ball game.
Well, the difference between that at-bat and the previous 2 at-bats was he was patient. His first 2 at-bats, he doesn't tax the first 2 pitches. Here he's in the hitter's count, right down the middle, and hits a home run to right field.
Only the 5th hit for Harper since he came off the DL. And now Wilson Ramos is coming up. Ramos is 1 for 2. And he fouls it away off to the right.
If you're going to give a home run up, might as well make it a solo one.
Might as well give it up when if it's a solo one and you're up by 5.
Yep.
Rollins backs up on it. He's got plenty of time. And now 1 away, and it'll bring Espinosa to the plate. They're going to pitch hit for Stammen, who's up next. Scott Hairston's out in the on-deck circle. Out to left field, Dominic Brown will hover toward the track, and he puts it away for the 2nd out. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank, good banking is good citizenship. Jerry Blevins was the lefty who was taking a drink of water. He's going to be the next pitcher for the Nationals. Maybe not. Craig Stammen's going to bat here with 2 outs. Hairston was in the on-deck circle. Maybe Hairston was just going to bat if Espinosa got on. Liner out to right field. Marlon Byrd has to venture back a little bit. Side is retired. Well, even with the home run, it's a pretty quick inning for A.J. Burnett. It's time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phillies, who have won 4 straight, lead this one 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies Baseball Academy is open for boys and girls aged 6 to 14. Professional coaching and skill development for Phillies players, coaches, and Baseball Academy instructors. The Academy includes official Phillies baseball uniform, a trip to Citizens Bank Park, 15 different locations, many weeks to choose from. Call 610-520-3400 for more details. Well, Bryce Harper with a solo home run is the only run allowed by A.J. Burnett, who will lead it off. A.J.'s 0 for 2. Stammen stays out there, and A.J. swings at the first pitch. Fly ball to right center, playable for Worth. And that'll bring Grady Sizemore to the plate. Sizemore 1 for 3 in his first game in a Phillies uniform. Sided low. It's 1-0. Mentioned some of the years that Sizemore put together with the Cleveland Indians and how productive they were. There were years where he was really the best center fielder in the American League, one of them. On the inside corner, it's 1-2. How about the one year where he had, was it 53 doubles? 53.
With 11 triples that year. Oh, and by the way, he hit 290.
He also had 28 home runs that season. He had 20 home runs in 3 straight years, 20 or more. And then had 18 home runs in 2009 and 106 games. I think the Phillies feel the same way the Red Sox did. They don't know if he could be the same player or anything close to it, but he's healthy. You take a flyer on it and see what happens. The liner out towards center, Span will make the catch. And there are 2 outs. And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. Jimmy with a 2-run home run earlier, adding to his all-time hits total, now at 2,258. And Big Time Bats is releasing this full-size bat to commemorate Jimmy becoming the all-time hit leader. It's limited and sells for $109.95. You can call now 866-280-BATS or log on to BigTimeBats.com. Rollins takes a strike. It's 0-1.
It's funny how this game is played. Grady Sizemore is 1 for 4 tonight. And his first at bat hitting the ball solid to shortstop. Smoked that last one to center field. Just missed a home run to left field. Hit one off the end of the bat and broke his bat for a single to right.
That's true. Yeah, the last 2 swings have been good. Even though they've been outs, they've been good.
I found it interesting, Sandy. Is he a guy who's going to be able to go out and play 7 days straight? No, but that's not what you're looking for right now. You're out there. Your team is struggling. You need to find players come in. If he's healthy, it's a bonus.
That one's hit well again. Deep to right field. Worth going back toward the scoreboard. It is gone! Another home run for Jimmy Rollins. This one's a solo shot. And it's a 6-1 ball game. Well, both of these home runs, he's hit them as high as he's hit them far. It's the 9th time in his career he's had a multi-home run game.
The first time he gets a fastball elevated. This time he gets a little slider that didn't slide a whole lot. And you're right, Tom. He hit about 334 feet high and 332 feet to right field. I mean, just the concentration, the head down, the weight, the reaction, contact, and then explode.
And Utley follows with a single, just as he did in the third. Well, this is more like it. Phillies now with 10 hits tonight. Rollins has never hit 3 home runs in a game. Last time he had 2 home runs was in August of 2012. And with that home run and for what he hit earlier, and for each one hit by the Phillies this year, 1 tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of a project to restore the region's tree coverage. For more info, visit phillies.com/red goes green. 6-1 Phillies on top, and a pitching change for the Nationals. Games, certainly quite a night. 2 home runs tonight for the Phils.
Yeah, he did. In the first one, he got a fastball from the zone and gets it deep to right field. And then he comes up in the 7th inning, gets a little slider down and in. Almost identical swing and almost identical seat. So he's hitting with a lot of confidence right now, and it's something that the Phillies need for him to step up and do.
Well, everything the Phillies have done these last 4 days, 5 days, they've needed, and in such a big way. Craig Stammen, who did a pretty good job in relief of Jordan Zimmerman, sort of tired here in the 7th. So he'll give way to Jerry Blevins with Utley over at first, Ryan Howard at the plate. Lefty's hitting just 125 against Blevins. Fastball, and it's 0-1.
And that is why a tall, lanky left-hander throws 92, 93 miles an hour. Oh, and by the way, he throws a curveball, change, and a slider. So he's a 4-pitch pitcher, where usually you see a left-hander, 2-pitch pitcher.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Brewers have woken up. They lead the Cardinals 6-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Inside. Brewers are wearing the throwback uniforms from the Harvey Wallbanger years tonight. But they've taken it an extra step. Instead of wearing the white and the blue pinstripe tops, they're wearing the jerseys they use for batting practice when they throw it back. If you turned all the lights out in Milwaukee, you'd still be able to see the team. And a breaking ball and a call. Strike 3. That curveball really locked Ryan Howard. Side is retired here in the 7th. A home run by Jimmy Rollins. We'll go to the 8th with the Phillies on top 6-1. Defensive plays of the game.
Well, this is easy to cover tonight. It's ground ball after ground ball after ground ball. In a 6-4-3 ground ball right here. Bryce Harper coming up, the man on third, throwing a nice sinker. Getting a ground ball to Chase, not allowed him to score. And Jason Worth coming up. And again, killing the grass in front of home plate with another good sinker and another ground ball. That is your defensive play of the game. Is brought to you by Hyundai.
A.J. Burnett now is getting set for the 8th inning. See 11 groundouts, 5 flyouts, and 5 strikeouts. Depending on how he pitches here, he could go the route, go the distance. See his pitch selection. It's really interesting that 55 fastballs, counting the sinker and the general 4-seam fastball together. Span shows bunt and then takes the ball. It's 1-0. On the inside corner, 1-1.
That's a pitch we haven't seen a lot from AJ Wright lately. Him and KK seem like they got away from that front door sinker to left-handers, which I like because it's a sneak pitch. If you use it too much, guys make adjustments.
Giles and Diekman we mentioned in the pen.
200 miles an hour combined.
Seriously. For years and years and years and years we were saying, how come the Phillies never have a guy like that? And now they have 2. 2-1 pitch to Span. Ground ball toward first. It's a foul ball.
And if those two don't work, they know, by the way, you have DeFreitas and Hollins, who both throw 95, top out at 96.
It's a nice luxury to have if you're Ryan Sandberg. It really is. On the inside corner, called strike 3. And Span's down looking. Second time he has struck out. 6 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with the Major League Notebook.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Brought to you by Gwynedd Mercy University. And we told you yesterday that Yadier Molina is probably out for the season because of a hand injury. Well, today, the National League has announced his replacement on the All-Star team. It is Miguel Montero from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they also said that Jonathan Lucroy will now be the starting catcher for the National League. That makes 3 Brewers as starters for the National League in the upcoming All-Star game. And also the American League has announced that Ian Kinsler has been added to their roster as the wave goes by. He is replacing Victor Martinez, his teammate. Of course, Kinsler, it's his 4th All-Star game, but his first as a member of the Detroit Tigers. He was traded over there in the offseason, so he is now a member of the All-Star team. I'll get involved in the wave next time it comes around, guys.
I mean, you're usually a little sharper than that. Usually, if you're all in, which you always are, you would have been able to do that.
Yeah, well, it was coming from behind.
We can get the cameras on you. We'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah. Oh, I know you will.
Out of play, it's 1-2. Rendon is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, and he's popped out.
There, I did it.
I have to admit, there wasn't a whole lot of energy in that move.
I got to admit, I'm not a fan of the wave.
Well,
I'm just not.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
So I took one there for the team.
Look at this. We're showing it right now.
It's probably the first time in my life I participated in the wave. So
You had a disdained look on your face.
Yeah, we were involved in the wave out in left center.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. In the dirt, 3-2.
Murph, the energy that we showed in the wave is the energy that the Phillies have showed the last 5 games. Your energy was more like Pittsburgh energy.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Rendon. Outside, ball 4, so a 1-out walk. And that'll bring Jason Worth to the plate. Worth walked his last time up. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Two. Well, this has been one of the best starts of the year for A.J. Burnett. He's had very good ones at different points of the season, including the complete game in St. Louis a couple weeks ago. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. So do baseball for Burnett. Check swing. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. No appeal. I think if he loses Worth, there's a chance they'll go get Diekman. It's a 6-1 ball game, so they've got some wiggle room. Ground ball to short. They may not have to do it. Rollins backs up. There's one. Utley, he had it and then lost it in the exchange. Yeah, there's 2 outs. Or there are 2 outs. And no discussion from Matt Williams or anybody about that. It literally was in the exchange. Well, it looks.
It's close.
It's close. It is close because they can refute that now. It has to be a clean exchange, and I guess in the eyes of the second base umpire, Toby Bassner, it was a clean exchange. Yeah, see the blue lights popping on, and the Nationals are thinking, well, we should have challenged that one. It's too late now.
I don't think it was.
Well, that was close. The more I look at it there, it looked like it was definitively in the exchange. Whereas Utley had it, at least he was grabbing it out of the glove. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We haven't had that to review this year, but I think it's a tough decision by the umpires. It's fouled away. It's 1-1 to say whether it is or isn't a clean exchange.
Well, the reason why is that you're blocked with your view. You're seeing his hand go in his glove, and as he's bringing it out, the ball's being dropped. So
Correct.
really, you can't tell if it's, unless it's a low feed at second base.
Yeah, where it just pops up.
Pops out.
1-1 to LaRoche. In the dirt. Outside, ball 4, so 2 walks in the inning by A.J. Burnett. And here comes Ryan Sandberg, we think. And here he comes. Well, it's not a trot out, so he may have his mind made up. At 108 pitches, crowd's starting to clap right now. And there's the signal to get Kenny Giles. A.J.'s not turning and looking. He just shook the hand of Cameron Rupp. And that'll be it for A.J. Burnett. Heck of a night. Just an outstanding performance by the Phillies right-hander. And this one comes from Alex, and Alex is showing off his collection. I think there's a picture of Greg Murphy in that collection. Appreciate that, Alex. Tweet your photo to hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Murph, did you know you're on Alex's wall in his collection of pictures?
I did not know that, but I'm honored. Thank you, Alex.
Well, Murph, thank you for participating in the AT&T fan photo of the game.
It's my pleasure.
A.J. Burnett will watch as Ken Giles is on for the 13th game. Giles 17 strikeouts in 12 2/3. 4 walks, 5 hits, 7 2/3. You know, as this season moves on with all the struggles the Phillies have had, they needed this outing, didn't they?
They did.
To kind of feed off the 4-game winning streak in Milwaukee. Fastball upstairs, 99 on that fastball. Slider. Oh, man.
That's the Uncle Charlie.
Well, and that's because of the fastball. Look at Zimmerman. He's just shaking his head. Yeah. Or nodding his head. Yeah.
The last pitch, Zim was really hoping that ball was going to break.
Up the third base line, Ashe will charge. It's a foul ball. 2-2 to Ryan Zimmerman. With Harper on deck, this may be one and done for Ken Giles if he doesn't get Zimmerman. Diekman's warming up in the pen. A.J. Burnett is hoping that this will be it for the 8th inning. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Interesting. Camera put down 2 different sets of signs. Giles only has 2 pitches. Maybe one location. I'm thinking fastball inside.
Slider pulled down the left field line. That's a base hit. Werth's going to trot home. LaRoche will go to third. He's being held there. It's an RBI double. It's now a 6-2 ball game. So runners on second and third. That was a hanging slider. I haven't seen him hang many sliders. 18 doubles now for Zimmerman. How out in front he was, too.
Yeah, and it's establish a fastball. If you're throwing 99, 100 miles an hour, that's three sliders you threw that at bat, and all 3 of them were kind of up in the zone a little bit. And they kind of had a different break. It was almost like a curveball.
Well, now Harper hit a home run 401 feet. His last time up, he's 1 for 3, and he pops it up way up there. Rupp is looking for it. He has to avoid the bat and Harper, and he makes the catch. Side is retired. That ball was hit a mile up into the air. A.J. Burnett, his line is done. A high five for Kenny Giles. Out tonight's series opener with the Nationals, only on Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies post-game live. It's coming up as soon as this one comes to a close. Kenny Giles was able to get out of the 8th inning. He did allow an inherited runner to score. I think that's the first inherited runner he's allowed to score this year. Marlon Bird will lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th. Giles may continue in the 9th inning. We'll find out when there's one out. That's when Diekman will probably get back up again if he's going to be the guy coming in. Marlon is 2 for 3. A single, a double, 2 runs scored. He's had a good night.
Well, you're going to have options in the top of the 9th inning. You got a Ramos right-hander, then you have a switch hitter Espinoza, and then now you put it in their hands if they want to bring up a lefty or righty, because Spam's leading off. So if they bring in a left-hander, that's when you can bring a left-hander to face the pinch hitter and Spam.
Inside, 2-1. You figure Hairston will pinch hit for Blevins. Swing and a miss, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 8th. So Blevins has back-to-back strikeouts, 1 to end the 7th and 1 to begin the 8th, and will bring Cody Ashley to the plate. Well, tomorrow these two teams will be back at it. It's a 7:15 first pitch. There are seats still available for what turns out to be a great pitching matchup with Cole Hamels against Steven Strasburg. She's 1 for 3. Popped him up foul out of play. It's 1-1. Sunday the series wraps up at 1:35. And then 4 days off before the Phillies head to Atlanta. You going to go on a roller coaster during the All-Star break?
Not me, but the family will. We're going to go to Atlanta on probably Tuesday and Six Flags.
Six Flags. You're not going to go on a roller coaster?
No chance.
Is it because that roller coaster got stuck the other day? Is that why?
Nope. It's too high.
Why don't you go on one of those little kiddie roller coasters? You know, the one that just goes up and down like this.
I could do that.
A ball of 2 strikes to Ashley. He pulls that one just foul.
You like roller coasters?
I love roller coasters.
Really?
I do.
Not me. It's one thing I'll pass. I will sit there and watch people have fun and hoop and holler, but my daughters love it. Except for my middle daughter. She sits with me.
What about the log flume? You gonna go on a log flume?
Nope. Oh, probably.
What do you go on? A merry-go-round? Breaking ball low. It's 2-2.
I'm the parent. I'm supposed to sit there and hold their purses as the family goes on, and I don't do rides.
Teacups?
Why? No sense. This is how bad I don't like rides. You know how you have those big slides you used to go up and.
Yeah.
I got stuck on the top of that and wouldn't. Oh, and I wouldn't.
That was an ooh-ah ball.
I wouldn't slide down the slide. So my father had to walk all the way up the stairs to come get me. I do not like heights.
How old were you then?
Young, but.
Yeah, pick you up and carry you down?
Look, I'll wrestle alligators, I'll fight a shark, I'll fight the biggest hockey player, but I will not go up in heights.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Rendon is up with it, and there's 2 outs. And that'll bring Dominic Brown to the plate. What about bumper cars?
Oh, I'll crush them over there.
Oh, see, there you go.
And don't leave your leg out over because I'll hit you even then. Sometimes you get the people from, oh yeah, it's bumper cars.
Their leg over.
Sometimes you've seen it. Mike Greenwell had that one time at his place. He had an amusement park down in Florida somewhere, and someone decided to get out in the middle of the contest.
Well, that's just silly.
Probably it's called too much beverage.
Well, that's probably true. Here's Dominic Brown, who is 1 for 2. He had a big 2-run double in the second inning. That started the scoring. So that's a pretty good swings here tonight. And then he also has that pop up to third.
I noticed he didn't stay with the leg kick very long. It was a matter of like 2 or 3 at bats.
That I don't know about you, but that might be something that you have to incorporate in the offseason almost, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a timing thing. I mean, when it's on, it's on. But when you're off, I mean, it's the ball's by you. But once again, I mean, we saw Ryan with the low hands. We saw Jimmy working on things with his left-handed swing. D. Brown working on certain things. They're willing to make changes.
That one's out of play, off to the left. And it remains 0-2. Well, you saw DeFreitas warming up in the bullpen, so maybe they'll use him in the 9th inning. Justin worked in one of the games in the series in Milwaukee. Swing and a miss, and Brown is struck out. So 3 strikeouts in an inning and a third for Jerry Blevins. Side is retired in order. We'll move to the 9th inning. Here in Philadelphia, the Phils try to take game 1 of the series. Because they wanted him to play all 3 outfield positions. Well, he's going to play 2 of those outfield positions in tonight's ball game. He moves from center field to left field, and Tony Gwynn Jr. comes into play center. Those are the only changes for the Phillies, as Kenny Giles will stay in the game to pitch. As we go to the top of the 9th inning, the Phillies on top 6-2. And Giles will face Wilson Ramos to start the top of the 9th. A nice crowd to kick off this 3-game series. A night game tomorrow and then a day game on Sunday. Papelbon is throwing in the bullpen just in case. This is not a safe situation at this point. Tying run would have to be in the on-deck circle for that to happen. Fastball outside. It's 1-0. I think there's always this trepidation, particularly for a power pitcher, to sit. And I think that's why DeFreitas was up if that inning had gotten any longer. I don't know what the timeline is. I don't know what the cutoff is. But I know that there always has been a little leeriness for managers in this day and age, not back 20 years ago or 25 years ago, but in this day and age. And I think it's partly because these guys have been so regimented that they won't sit for a long period of time after coming in.
Well, and that's the reason, you see them in the bullpen. They don't get up and down 2 or 3 times. Usually if they get up one time and they're hot, they're ready to go. If they're not being used, they might go to somebody else. Let's face it, they're throwing 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. So you don't really want them to get up and down too many times and sit around the dugout very long before you got to go back out.
Outside, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. There's Pap. Fly ball to right field. It's deep but playable. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Danny Espinosa is the batter. Nate McLouth is out in the on-deck circle. Slider 0-1. And 2. That's the best slider of the night right there. Swing and a miss. 3 straight sliders, 2 outs. First strikeout for Giles, 1 out away from clinching the Phils' 5th straight victory.
Well, you got slider, slider, slider. So you got good morning, good afternoon. And the last one very good for good night. Slider down and in. Cameron's calling it for down low in the zone, and that's what you call burying a slider and getting this guy to swing over top of it.
Well, now Nate McLouth, who's hitting just $194. A home run and 7 RBIs off the bench for the Nationals. A fastball, it's 0-1. Slider low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Just off a little bit tonight. Not totally, but just a little bit. He's still getting the job done, though. The looper out toward left. Sizemore is there, and he makes the catch, and the Phillies have won their 5th consecutive game. They take game 1 over the Washington Nationals 6-2. And they're moving along right now offensively. They're hitting with runners in scoring position. They're hitting home runs. They got 2 tonight from Jimmy Rollins. A lot of things to be happy about right now for the Phils as they move to within 9 games of 500 as they take game 1 of this 3-game series. And they're also riding some great starting pitching. And tonight it was A.J. Burnett. He's our Chevy player of the game, 7 2/3. Kind of diced up the Nationals tonight.
He did, and he had all the pitches going. He had a very good sinker that had late movement, which was getting a lot of ground balls. He had very good control of his curveball. We talked about it earlier. A lot of hitters were killing the grass in front of home plate. And to me, that's a very good sinker, good slider, and just keeping hitters off balance.
Yeah, his mixture tonight, in fact, the first 3 or 4 innings, he had no fly ball outs. Everything was on the ground, like you said. I think that double play in the first inning really helped him, getting those first 2 outs so quickly. Got a nice round of applause from this crowd. He acknowledges them, and then he gave way to Kenny Giles, who finished things off, and he's down on the field with Murph. Murph?
That's right. He's able to shut the door, is Ken Giles on this one. But let me start with the guy that started this game for you guys, A.J. Burnett. Another real good outing from your starting pitcher.
Yeah, he did a great job today. All he's doing is pounding the strike zone, getting ground balls, and striking out some guys. So I'll keep that momentum going to the next day.
And that's exactly what you're able to do as well. And for the second time in a week, we see you come into an inning, sit back down, and get back up and finish out an inning. Is that something you enjoy doing?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, once I get the first inning out of the way, I just I don't shut it down. I always think I'm going to go out for the next one, so I'm always ready to go out for another one.
I know inside that clubhouse there's been a lot of talk about let's get this thing turned around, let's get it right. 5 in a row now, and really all aspects of the game happening. How important is it for you guys to start feeling this thing turn around?
Oh, it's really important. I mean, everybody's banding together. Everybody's coming as one now. I mean, there's no groups. We're all counting on each other, trying to pick each other up so far.
All right, well, 5 in a row. It's a good start. Kenny, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. So Giles finishes things off for the Phils. Jimmy Rollins offensively provided a heck of a spark in this ballgame.
Yeah, he really did. These are my favorite calls. This one in the 3rd inning was a fastball up in the zone. He hit to right field. And then 7th inning, he comes up here with a slider down and in. Almost the identical spot. Very nice swing down and in. Drove it out of the ballpark. Those are your W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
Phillies got those 2 home runs. They got a 2-run double by Dominic Brown, which was a huge hit early on.